Nou wat 'n voorreg om 'n internasionale sangsensasie by ons in die ateljee te hê. Hulle het eintlik geen bekendstelling nodig nie. Hulle vier vanjaar hulle 12de bestaanjaar met meer as 10 miljoen albums en meer as 3 miljoen kaartjies wat al wêreldwyd verkoop is. What an honor to welcome in studio Celtic Woman. It's awesome. Awesome having you guys here. So let's start, and I'm hoping that I'm going to get the pronunciation right. I tried to do everything right. So it's Susan here on my left. Next to her, it's Tara.
Yeah, perfect.
Ava.
Yeah.
That's right. And then Mairead.
That was perfect.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to get it that good first time.
Oh, what can we say? So let's kick off, and we say the idea of creating a musical ensemble like you guys. Where did the idea originate?
Well, it was I think it was about 2005. It was meant to be just a one night thing, a show that was put on in a theatre called the Helix in Dublin, in Ireland. And it was broadcast on a channel, PBS, in America. So it was only meant to be one night, one off. But it just exploded. The American public loved it. So it ended up going out on tour. And that's nearly 12 years ago. And it's been going ever since. And the ensemble has changed over the years. And women have come and gone. So it's been ongoing now for nearly 12 years.
Well, I must say, I love your accent.
I think we like yours. It's lovely too.
So, individual background. Let's start maybe on that side. Mairead, just a quick background. Did you always think that you will end up in an ensemble like this, and then we'll go on, and just where did you grow up? A bit of background.
Okay, well, I'm from Northern Ireland, so the northwest of Ireland, really near Donegal, and I grew up in a family full of musicians. My dad was a bass player in a band, and my sister was a fiddle player. But I grew up in a classical background, so my background is actually in opera. Sure. And I always loved Celtic Woman, loved their music, really was inspired by them. And when I was at college, I was studying opera, and I kind of found myself at a bit of a loss. And out of nowhere, Celtic Woman came along. I actually had been signed as a solo artist to Universal Music myself in London, and that had fallen through. And I was teaching.
Wow.
And I was teaching little kids singing, and I thought, maybe I'm not destined to be a performer. And then out of nowhere, Celtic Woman came along and picked me back up.
You are destined to perform.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I absolutely love it, and I feel very privileged to be surrounded by such amazing women. So.
Ava, your background?
I'm from County Dublin, and I grew up speaking a lot of Irish in my house, which is unusual because where I'm from, not many people speak it, which is our national language, Gaelic or Irish. And I grew up singing a style called sean-nós, which is our traditional music, and it's usually sung a cappella. And I kind of just did the competitions growing up, and then joined a very well-known choir called Anuna, and sang with them for years. And then, I always wanted to be a singer. So I was writing, and I wrote an album, and then I got a call from Celtic Woman. I couldn't believe it, because growing up, like in Ireland, Celtic Woman is an ambassador for Irish music, and everybody knows them. So to get a call from them was just a dream come true, and I kind of haven't looked back since. It's been a bit of a whirlwind. It's been a year now, and I can't believe it. It's
beautiful
amazing.
Story. Tara, over to you.
Well, the same as Mairead, I had a very classical upbringing, and I was playing violin, piano, but then I also played the traditional Irish harp, so I had that traditional aspect. And then I went on and I studied classical violin performance, and so I was doing a lot of orchestral playing and things like that. But I've always watched Celtic Woman, and it has been a dream of mine for a very long time to be part of it. It's something I've just really, really just felt so much in my heart that I wanted to, and I felt that I belonged as part of the group. And then this is going to be actually my very first performance with Celtic Woman here in Johannesburg.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
So we're doing TV and radio, so we have a bit of time limits. So we're going to get to you now. We haven't forgotten about you. So jy kan ingeskakel bly op die groot ontbyt. Net hierna gesels ons verder met die internasionale sangsensasie Celtic Woman, en jy wil dit definitief nie mis nie. Jy is ingeskakel op die Groot Ontbyt Groot FM 90.5 sopas. Jy is luisteraar geluister na Wieke Leroux se Halfweer Asem en jy as kyker het sopas die beeldskone prentjie wat baie mooi is vir die oë en baie mooi ook vir die ore is en dit is Celtic Woman wat by ons in die ateljee is. As jy dalk nou is ingeskakel dan jy nou die agtergrond van almal gemis behalwe van Susan because we didn't get the time to quickly just ask your background. Just a brief background, where do you come from, where did you grow up? Etc. etc.
From Dublin, same as Ava, grew up there. And like Mairead, I was actually living in London. I come from like a musical theatre background, so I was living in London performing in West End musicals, and was exactly like Mairead, was kind of finished a job, was waiting for the auditioning for the next job, and I got a call from Celtic Woman, and the rest is history.
And that's so awesome. So if we look at the dynamics of 4 women performing together, how would you guys describe describe the dynamics of 4 women performing together? What is the biggest challenges?
Well, I just think we're all very different, and I think that's the beauty about Celtic Woman is the fact that we are all so different. We all come from different backgrounds, but when we come together, we create the quintessential Celtic Woman sound or blend, and I think that's what people know and love about Celtic Woman is that blend. We all have our different parts in the show, but then we come together and unite as 4 different individual women together.
Well, when listening to your music, one can definitely hear that, and I think that's maybe your secret recipe that just works. So there's just something that speaks to the ear that trembles all the way through to the soul. How would you describe the music, sound, and performances of Celtic Women for someone that hasn't heard you play before or perform? How would you describe that sound? Any takers?
I think the amazing thing about Celtic Woman and coming to a show is that there's really something for everybody, and at the heart of it all, there's we're all Irish, so there's Irish music, and as Irish people we're storytellers, and all of the songs then when we sing them we really try and relay the story to the audience, even if they've never heard the song before. We could even be singing in Irish, but you can feel that the audience get it because we're telling the story, and it's brilliant because it's accessible to everybody, all ages. There's something, there's quiet moments, there's moments where you're up clapping your hands and dancing, so it really is a lovely kind of emotional journey.
Roller coaster.
Yeah, it's brilliant though, and we love it.
You're in South Africa for a very short time now. You're flying back to, is it Dublin?
Yeah.
No? On Monday. But you're going to be performing a few shows here, and it's your very first time, Tara, performing in the group. Are you excited?
I am extremely excited, and of course there's nerves there as well.
That's a good thing.
yeah,
They
it's
say.
good. But I can't believe it's actually happening because I've been preparing for a while now, and then just all of a sudden these last few days have just happened very fast. It's actually here. So incredibly excited, and I'm so lucky to have my debut in such an amazing place like here.
It's just sorry that you can't be here for a longer time, and especially with you getting married in 5 days after you go back.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No pressure.
So just once again, a bit of background. I mean, each of you have your own little story how you started in Celtic Woman. The first performance was recorded in 2004 for television, which you guys mentioned. Of course, sold out audiences. Your debut reached #1 in the Billboard's World Music Chart and held this position for 81 weeks, which is just crazy, selling more than 1 million copies. So in the meantime, you've also produced, 12 albums? Have you expected the story to be such a successful story?
No, it's been a phenomenon. It's been amazing, and for it to keep going after 12 years. And I think what's great is that as the years are going on, we're starting to go to new territories, new places, like coming to South Africa.
Yes.
So it's great that we get to do that, bring in our Celtic Woman and Irish music to all over the world. So we're just enjoying every moment of it, and we don't take any of it for granted either. Loving every moment of it and appreciating everything that comes with it.
So since you are not that long in South Africa now for this time round, let's just focus on let's give our listeners and viewers a backstage pass. Okay, so if you need to describe your process from backstage to go onto stage, what process do you guys undergo?
Hair and makeup.
It's not that exciting.
Yeah, well, I guess, you
Hair
know
and
what?
makeup.
A lot of credit goes to our crew, guys, because without them, we wouldn't be sitting here, you know? Like, they set up the show. They're in so early in the morning, setting up the drum risers. Like, we have our drum techs and our sound men and our in-ear monitor guys. So it all begins with them. And then we come in and do our sound check. Make sure our in-ears, like everything that we're hearing in our in-ears is like exactly as we want it, you know, to sound. And then hair and makeup, and then basically eat dinner, and then get into our corsets, and then we go,
And before we go on stage, we do this thing where we like do that with our arms and
Good luck.
like that just before we go on, and you kind of do that, and then you're like, okay, it's gonna be okay. You know?
So do you still get nervous before you go on stage, even though you've done so many performances?
Yeah, I think so.
Still?
I think it's good to get
Nervous.
nervous. I think
course.
if you're not nervous, there's something wrong.
Get up.
Yeah.
Now, you've traveled the world and there must be a lot of highlights, but if you can just mention a few for us.
Oh, God. Well, being here today, of course. Well, we've played some amazing venues, and a couple of note, I think, for me personally was Radio City Music Hall. Being a big musical theatre fan, and so that was quite a privilege to play there. And we played Red Rocks. I'm not sure if you know it. It's in Colorado. It's an amazing outdoor venue, and amazing artists have played there. And we've been very lucky. We're actually playing there again now in 2017. So there are a couple of highlights for me personally, and with the girls.
Sure. Any highlights for you guys?
There's one place for me that really always rings true, and that's one of the Fox theatres in America. So they're like the old, like vaudeville theatres, and they're absolutely gorgeous, and they're painted like all different. This one has like Venetian kind of. It's amazing, but I just love it because on all the doors, there's like all these iconic people's signatures. So like Diana Ross, Michael Jackson. It's ridiculous.
So when you
Stevie
get there,
Wonder.
you just like touch everything.
I signed my name beside One Direction. I was like, it was so cool.
Is there a specific theatre which you would just love to perform, which you haven't had the opportunity to perform in? A specific one, or not really? I mean, you guys have been all over the world.
Isn't it good to say, no, I've kind of done it? No, I can't think. Can you guys think?
I'd love to be in the 3. Have you been in the 3?
Yeah, we did.
The 3 in Dublin, 3 Arena.
Just to be like a home crowd and home venue.
Oh, that's awesome. So your South African performances is then now at the Monte Casino Teatro, and then also the Big Top Arena in Carnival City. So then you're also on your way, I think, to China.
Yeah, China and South Korea in October.
So you're quite busy. What can people expect from the performance in South Africa? Some inside info.
I guess, yeah. I mean, this show is a brand new show because a lot of the music that we're doing now is actually reinventing songs that people know and love of Celtic Woman. Like, so there'll be the traditional ones there that, you know, people know of Celtic Woman, like Amazing Grace, Danny Boy. Sure. But then also we have like new songs interpreted in new ways, like Shula Rune, which people may have known from the beginning of Celtic Woman, but then it wasn't performed then for a long time. So yeah, like Ava said, you know, this really is a journey for the senses, and will take you on an emotional roller coaster for sure.
And we're looking forward. Thank you very much that you guys popped in during your South African tour. Susan, Tara, Ava, Mairead, yes. Thank you very much. Celtic Woman, awesome, and all the best for the future.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So daai het jy dit, as jy graag nog daai kaartjies wil kry, ek weet nie of daar nog beskikbaar is nie, maar dan kan jy seker maak jy gaan kyk hierdie vertoning, en dit is altyd lekker om internasionale kunstenaars by ons in die ateljee te hê. Jy kan ingeskakel bly net hierna, tyd vir jou nuus weer en jou verkeer.